What was your biggest hesitation or objection?
It's probably about a million things. So first off, I watched her videos, but I was like, I can figure this out on my own. I got this. I don't need some program to show me what to do and how to figure this out. But then that led to me eating less and less and less and less food. I think one of the very first times we talked, I was like, I don't understand how I could possibly be gaining weight, eating less now than I ever have in my entire life. And yet I weigh more than I've ever weighed in my entire life. Like, I don't get how that makes any sense, but that was because of the misconceptions. It's calories in versus calories out. That's all that matters. So that was one of the first ones is I thought I could just do it myself. Obviously, I couldn't. Then the second one was time. Is like, when in the heck do I have time for this whole program when I'm in school and working and have projects going on and have everything else in my life? And then now I'm going to have to figure out how to fit all this crap into my life and figure out how to do stuff. And third one was cost because I've never had much money, but the cost was a big factor in it. But then it was like, well, do I spend the money now and get myself better, or do I spend the money later on medical bills and other problems and prescriptions and meds and procedures that I could have fixed now?
You spent 6 months to begin with, and then you just became an elite member. Where are you at now?
One of the biggest changes was diet. I went from eating 800 on a good day, sometimes even less, to well over 3,000 calories a day and haven't even gained a single pound. In the beginning, that was probably one of my biggest like freak out moments, is because it was like, I'm just going to gain so much weight. I'm going to get so fat. What the heck is this program doing? I mean, it still is surprising to me today. Man, I went from eating one meal a day, I was starving myself, and now I'm eating 4 times as much food and I haven't gained a single pound. And then the second is the exercise routine, getting in the walking, getting me on a routine of exercise and motivation to do that. Another part of it is just monitoring other aspects of my life, like sleep. Like, I used to live on like no sleep at all. I was sleeping like 4 hours a day. So just prioritizing health, different health aspects. And through that, I've started to see some changes, started to feel some changes. And I know that, like, for sure, my energy levels are so much better. Before, I was a zombie all day. I was just existing. Like, there wasn't much thought process going on. I was just a body that existed. I feel like throughout the day, I have a lot more energy than I did before.
You really just don't have a lot of time in your day. How have you been able to manage prioritizing your health?
Think putting in the schedule helped out with that. I already kind of had a schedule in my mind that I go through. Like, that was on a day to day basis. Writing it down and thinking ahead of time helps out with that. So I created more of a flow than just like a stop, go kind of situation, I guess.
How do you feel overall?
Well, I definitely feel like I have more energy, more motivation to do it now. I'm not crashing as much like throughout the day. I think the biggest overall impact is nutrition awareness and just being able to think about my meals and prioritize what I'm going to eat in meals, and just the change that that's caused of like the energy. I mean, that's the foundation that has helped everything else out from there. Cause like, I train all I want, but if I'm only eating 800 calories, training isn't really doing much for me.
What's your takeaway from just the overall program and that level of support?
I think I've told you before, but it's like, you've been the most supportive person I've ever encountered in my life. I've had like other trainers in the past, none of them were available by text all the time. None of them dedicated hours, every week of their time to their client. And the amount of resources you have available is insane. Like, don't need Google anymore. I just text Kanisha. And it's like, whenever I have, specific questions that come up, I know I can message you, and you're always on top of it. You are literally opposite ends of the US from me, but I feel for sure that you've been far more supportive than any in-person trainer that I could have hired.